General Motors Company. No, they always had these big faces. Yes, definitely these hooks are just machines for real. Cowboy wear. The main thing is cowboy. We came to the contract again, asked them for another car, which we will now ride. But I'm interested. Here's the antenna installed. There above the driver. This is purely so that the driver has a better reception of the signal from above. The phone worked better. By the way, here is one of the disadvantages of Rolls-Royce with Kalina. There. And they work at all navigation. Everyone who drives Kalinas should like this. Well, just to confirm my words. TVX is a feature of the car. Here's my sound. It's just so cool. Here she started up. We have a naturally aspirated 6-cylinder engine and 2,420 horsepower for that, just to get somewhere. And we have the ultimate package. All-timey, yes, it's like a hatch, yes, it's everything that's possible. A little bit of a slant, that's all. Ha ha, look here, tree. Everything here is so nicely decorated in these works, which are produced during the production of the structure. Much better than Ford. About listen. These guys. You see these curved control lines? Do you know where else they work? All the fasteners are lost. That's why we tie it with wires, so that it doesn't fly out while moving. Look at the state my car is in. And how much does it cost? Let's get away from this. Always have complaints about all cars, when today means so. In the morning now we look at prices 1430. Unlike the 3X, it will probably travel about 100 kilometers there. 5070 there. Stand max here, another algorithm. Sasha, another algorithm, because the speed is low. Of course there is no inflation and so on. Pleasure bitch 0. I haven't ridden it yet, but I am in terms of my pleasure. That is, I perceive the machine. Well, that's how I perceive it. Come on, you're a spoiled and pampered guy. You understand that it can't be compared with the service. Wait a second, I'm trying to find the market leader. Who beats who in sales of Ford X area? Well, not here, not in Russia. In America he is Ram. Here's the area. That is, if we take 10 potential buyers on this kind of car. It seems to me that if you sell this to a person, and I will offer the guy a used 3X for 14.2. Yeah, my sale will happen faster. No, what do you think? No, you are comparing these two cars in vain. It has more thrust in 3X. You won't load this workhorse. Stop, all this is a fighter. This machine has a large load in the rear compartment. He doesn't dance at all. That is, it pulls 6T. 3X is many times less. There's something around 330, it's something like that, and you won't download it. That is, the suspension here is different. Trax suspension. It is designed to withstand impacts. And wait, there are springs here. Well, yes, she is completely different. If you want to go off-road, then this is where you should go. They are trying to do it now. This one is 6 and 2. They are trying to put a compressor on it, and shove it here. Such a rebel Ram rebel, that's what they made these configurations for in. It's clear that it's 1,500, and if we're talking about Dodge, just a machine for life, just big, just sat down, just drove, and URYX, it's me Vasya. Look what I can do. Yes, then here, how is it divided? That is diesel. Duramax turbo diesel, yes, and we have it accordingly. She's about close to a Raptor, but not a Raptor. She won't make it here either on springs. Yeah, look here, he has different racks and that's it, just rubber. Discs, how much does it cost? New 13 and 5. As for me, both are springs and shock absorbers. Easier than here. Well, for me, it's just like that. Well, for me, yes it is. I'm more interested in when I got into the salon, and when I go I will feel a sensation. I think they won't be fundamentally different. It's not important at all, but when you enter the off-road they will be different. If we have 1431 million, we can buy, for example, Denali. Yes, this petrol one, yes, or Rem. Yeah, well, I would buy Rem, after I know what Twix is, how it works. My first car has driven almost 40,000 kilometers without a single breakdown. I have a second car now, it has driven 20. Not a single breakdown. Well, that is, it is clear that this cannot be broken through. Yeah, well look. Well, look, you're trying to persuade me. I know you're not. Well, even plastic is better here. Better watch some watch material. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 types of material. 5 types of material only for one. The Fiat Crusader merger did not pass without a trace. I always say it, by the way. Why don't they do it so beautifully in 3X? It's beautiful here. Here you see everything. This performance is a little different. This is Longhorn. This is such a Wild West. Just such a wow blessing. I wouldn't buy Danel. I would sit here and say that's it. I won't get out of here. These thresholds are factory thresholds, right? My thresholds travel with me all the time. They were on the first car and on the second more than once. Nothing broke. Now there's sadness right away. I'm answering you. Toyota, I don't know everything. I opened the door. Sadness, you look there. Toyota Tundra Platinum, please. 12. 217. Listen, how conveniently they made the gearbox and the crystal here. And so it is a monitor, yes. It's like the wagon 11,200. This one is acceptable. And once again, this car costs 11,200 and you have to pay 23. That 14 is worth it. Well, that's already a passing era. Okay, this is the coming era, and how much does it cost? Just a second. 14,199,999 I have topped up in my life. They're just on this car. Yes, they pulled 540 horsepower out of a 3-liter engine. Yes, and they made such a set. 5 and 2 to 100, so this is an ideal story for those who don't have money for thousands. Inline 6, please, love and favor. This is what I miss. Yes to many on Terror Z. Yes, Rambox is very cool. You can put all sorts of rags here and there. There are suction cups here, yes. There is nothing like that in 3X. Why did you decide that 3X is a panacea? What should be there now? All this is already another generation of Ram. Understand? There really is air here. Listen, it has to be comfortable. Here the Numa is different. Here the air is not for comfort. And for body alignment. If you put a bunch of stuff here and also a trailer, and your car died, Nemo straightened it out. And here you go, Revolume, it's about the same. But not on air, it's on springs. Yes, his Bilstein racks. They have improved it a lot. But they put a 420 horsepower D-rated engine on it. It's cheaper, that's the limit, but not by much. 12,700 short dialogues with Leoka before testing this very interesting car. Genera at the Motorstanel went. Well, right away the suspension is a bit stiff. Yes, I'm driving by lying down. He just bounces on it, Lesha, to be honest. This is the car. As for me, its price is ideal for it to be sold. As for a Muscovite, 1.5 million rubles for this car. 21030, no. Well, yes, 11,500, even 3. Now you just remove the recycling fee, which we have now. We removed all that customs clearance there. Taxes, and please, this car is worth this money. To be honest. Moving on, all these pickups. There are cars, which are very different in character from the Raptors. Terre Ixa A, there are all the rest. And these are already small details. Here we have springs. Here we have compressed pneumatic prices. Well, that is about 1 same price range. Why do I come? I come to that you can buy a Ford cheaper. But you won't get much. Toyota will either be the same price as Ford, or more expensive, because it's Toyota and because it's definitely reliable. Although Ford is also a fairly reliable car. And here, for example, is Donald. But the brand itself hasn't really taken hold in our country. And Rem, of course. Here in my head is on the very top step. Things like Tesla or Ribbon or Hummer. Electricity is a completely different world. Yes, that is, they have some of their own squabbles there. Or these are electric trains. This is another universe, remember? You and I went to Yukon Denali. Yeah, well, this is the same version. Only with body. Only with body, yes. Leoka, you have a good place there. Yes, great, there is a lot of space here. I can't understand, you know what? Why is there such a problem with these mirrors on American cars? Well, you can't see them. Well, but you just can't see anything in these mirrors. That Rem has mirrors too. I have to look at the strip there like this. What's here, what's there? Large display. But for me it's not so usual. Because I got used to Terror X. Definitely when I look at this remote. Climate control systems, don't you think it smells cheap? This is black varnish. Compared to, say, the same Rems. It's made more aesthetically pleasing, so to speak. I have a reflection from the buttons. Yes, and that's all. So bumpy. Uneven is to lower all windows with the button, yes. I need this button. Tell me, what is it for? If you will, okay. Here you just had to draw an ass in him. Shot and shot from. Gentlemen, let's save other cowboys. Ha ha ha, I'm starting to get tired of the round start buttons. Stop here, she is so unusual. There's a fork there, it's huge. Yes, it is huge. You haven't confused her with anything. It's not like you just sit down and understand right away. This story is already aqua print. The skin is somehow strange. Americans, of course, don't show their faces at all. What the fuck is this? I found it here and that's it. Then we went classic. On the left side we have the switch to all-wheel drive. Rear drive light control. Seat memory. Does anyone even use seat memory? Do you really use memory? And who's driving you? Someone drives constantly another. No, seriously, one set up. Are you schizophrenic or something? One so or what? There is certainly no sign of sport here, but in order to move comfortably on it, and she didn't scream at the top of her lungs, and drove there at 40 kilometers per hour, and so that it moves efficiently enough. And it was comfortable. They actually made a 10-speed gearbox with a small subordinate clause. That is, short speeds, and due to these very short speeds, it's like she's not dead. Well, not dead. I answer 420 forces. You hear well, the sound is not super. But he is normal. It's nice and a bit velvety, yes. But you still won't make me give 14,500, Leoka. We don't force anyone. I understand that people don't come in and say I want. You just have such a car there, yes. So if she looks, someone and he is actually a Jamesy fan. Here she is. Well, the man came to us. He liked his appearance. He says I took it because of the appearance. Look how quickly she changes gears. Yeah, you know, yeah, just look where this tank is going. 1413 he goes, he doesn't need anything else. In order to fundamentally understand this machine, opportunity cost, I want to note, gearbox class. Fast, and it's very good that they set it up very correctly. She switches quickly. There are many speeds, and thus you have no perception that here only 420 horsepower is enough for her. She understands very clearly what happens to her and switches speed very clearly. In the salon on a 10-point scale, well, I give this car a 6+, not in terms of quality. Because in terms of quality, you need to drive it there for some time. And then understand how things are erased, and so on in terms of perception. Oh, luxury. That is tracks, of course. Top ahead of the planet, all absolutely accurate. There are people who buy themselves Jaguars. They want to emphasize something different for themselves. I'm different. Here are people who want a pickup truck and want. I am different. You need James chapter 7 days.